Cameras can be used and added to models or assemblies to help generate more specific views from a camera perspective. The position and target of the camera can be specifically defined, as well as some more control properties, such as field of view and depth, to help generate more exact views. So let's take a look at how we can add some cameras to our SolidWorks models here. So I first want to navigate up to my Appearances tab or Display Manager tab here. And again, I want to jump specifically into the Scene, Lights, and Cameras area. And just as we took a look briefly before at Scenes and Lighting, right below we also have Cameras. So by default right now, I don't have any cameras in this project, but I can just right click and I can add as many cameras as I may want. So I'm just going to right click and say add camera here. That's going to jump me into a new side panel here, creating a new camera called Camera 1. And I have a whole number of properties that I can customize and fine tune to specify my exact camera options. Or I have two viewing windows. And what I have here is on the right-hand side is essentially what the camera is seeing, or the cameraman would be seeing. And on the left-hand side here, I can see the outside, so including, for example, where the camera is, as well as where it's pointing to. So the left-hand side is kind of more like a director view, if we're thinking about this as maybe a movie director, and the right-hand side, more of the view of the actual cameraman or the eventual viewers of this movie or animation. What I can do here as well, I have a number of properties that I can change if I really want to fine-tune, or I can just click and drag some of these icons to move, for example, my camera, or where my camera is pointing. So I can click and drag really anywhere on my camera here. Maybe I'll move my cameraman in a little bit, get a closer view. And as I'm seeing that, it's automatically updating on essentially what my cameraman is seeing on the right-hand side here. So I can fine tune this as I'd like. I'm just going to place it somewhere about here. And I can also click and drag this red dot here, which is where I'm pointing my camera. Again, if I want to fine tune even further, I have all the exact options. So I can see exactly how far I'd like to be at exactly what angle and so on. But here I'm just going to give a kind of rough position. So something that will give me kind of this somewhat isometric view here. And then once I'm happy with that, I can just hit the green check to say, okay. And now see, I've created this new camera view called Camera 1. I've been placed into this camera view here, but if I'd like to jump out, I can just use my normal view orientation options and jump back to any specific view, a front view or anything like that. Additionally, spacebar jumps you to those options as well, and I could jump back to a front view or whatever it may be. And also notice there now I have my new camera view available for me as well now. Let's take a look. I'm just going to maybe throw in one more quick camera view here. So again, I can right click and suppress, delete, or edit these at any point as well. But I'm just going to do one more camera here, say add camera. And I'm just going to change this camera view a little bit as well here. So something like this, just kind of playing around to see how the cameras work. And then eventually we're going to use those now into an animation. So hit the green check here. And again, if I want to pop out of this view, just hit the space bar and jump to whatever view I'd like. Now I have camera 1, camera 2, or just jump back to a front view or any of my other SolidWorks standard views there. So now I have two cameras to work with, and of course I can edit and add as many cameras as I may need.